Hi, I'm Mary Matz, creator of Twisted Yarns, and today I'm up at the cottage, and it's a gloomy day, so what better day than to talk about garter bars. Now, these are very special garter bars, and it's exciting news because these are 3D printed garter bars. And if you have an LK, this is something that you may want to have. So I'm going to do a little review today and show you what's different about them, how to use them, my recommendations for best results, and some adjustments that'll make it easier to use them. Just like each of the eyelet and the Kriskrafter garter bars have their own personalities, these two have their own personality and they behave a little bit differently. But we'll get to that in a moment. But right now, let's just talk about them. First off, I don't do 3D printing, and I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, so I had a whole set printed for me. Now, these are available printed already, or you can buy the design and print your own. They have a nice handle on them, so you got a little grip. They turn perfectly. I haven't had one failure with turning them. And I've used some yarn that is definitely snaggy and difficult to use when you're doing with garter bar work. And that was what I wanted to test. But we'll go back to that in just a minute and I'll show you how to do it. Individually, they're nice and stiff. If you drop them, the tips don't bend, so you don't have to have an expensive replacement. They're inexpensive and lightweight, so they travel easily, especially since you use the LK, at least I use my LK, to go traveling. And I made even a mini version of the LK that I take with me everywhere, so that I always have it, and this is perfect for it. They come with 3 50s, 5 30s, and 2 20s. Now the 20s are only, the one is an add-on because it has screw holes in it already. The other is just for use on small projects, which is really convenient. Plus, it comes with these little joiners. When I got them, I was convinced that they wouldn't work. But as I found out, they're nice and smooth, and there's no burrs on them, so they work quite well. The second thing that I thought about them is that they are a little bit thicker. That just makes them behave slightly differently. It doesn't make them not work. And I thought they would never work, but they do. They work very, very well, as a matter of fact. Now we're going to assemble one. So I'm taking 2 50s, putting them together, and this is how they're recommended being assembled. You're going to put a joiner on the front or the back of it. It doesn't really matter which way. It works the same. And so then you're going to put the screws through, a screw through the joiner and a screw through the piece right there. And then put a nut on the back. It's not a screw, it's actually a bolt. Put it on the back, and I'm going to hand tighten it just at first. Then I'm going to go to the next one and do the exact same thing. So as you can see, the screw goes through, goes to the back, and then we put that on. Then the third and fourth get put on the same way, but you bring it and join it together, like so. Now I always take my little screwdriver, put my finger on the back nut, take my Phillips head screwdriver, which I keep handy, and tighten these down. You don't have to tighten them hard, just enough that they hold together, because that's not going to go anywhere. Now, if you wanted to add another one on, you would do the same thing with another joiner. But I'm going to leave this just as is because I want to show you something. Just like the Kriskrafter metal bars, it's too flexible to turn the knitting. This is fine for if you're working on your knitting and you're going to just hook it and then move it. That's fine. But this will never work as a garter bar to turn the knitting. This is too wobbly. Wobbly, wobbly, wobbly. So I resorted to the same solution that I used to stabilize the Kriskrafter garter bar. This is documented in my video, How to Use the Garter Bar on the LK150 Part 5 using the full needle bed. But here's a quick summary. Go to the hardware store and purchase an aluminum angle. The aluminum angle is 1/16 inch by 1/2 inch by 3/4 of an inch. It is 4 feet long, and then I cut it down to be the length of what I want to join. Then you mark the holes on the 1/2 inch side. It has to be on the 1/2 inch side, otherwise when you go to join them, if you put it on the 3/4 sides, let me just turn it this way for a minute. If you put the holes on the 3/4 side, it blocks the bottom part of these slots, and that's the part that's necessary to turn your knitting. So it has to be on the 1/2 inch side, like so, okay? That way, the slot is fully exposed when you're using it. What the angle does is it stabilizes and supports the garter bar pieces. I put the bolts in, and then I hand tighten them down. So, and that stabilizes it really nicely. Then I go to my next one, put the screws in. Just as long as you have 2 screws on each one, you're fine. So here is my 121. And notice it has no flexibility in it at all. And that's what you need when you go to do the garter bar work. So now we're going to go over to my machine and we are going to talk about behavior. And I chose a yarn that is very stringy. I don't know if you can see this really good, but it just splits and it does all kinds of ugly things. But I wanted to give it a good test. I'm going to use my regular stopper. These are also not available, but I contacted the person and asked them if they would like to design one so we'd all have it. So then I'm going to move my knitting back. If you want to see more about garter bar work, just go to my playlist on my YouTube channel, which is at Twisted Yarns. Now I want to make sure that I got all my latches open. Now this is where the plastic, the 3D printed, is different. Do you see how you can only bring the garter bar up to be practically just a little above level with the machine? Normally you can put the garter bar on and you can tip it up about 20 degrees, maybe 15 degrees. See how more? That's because this is thinner than this one. But this works very well. You've got to make sure you've seated all of the stitches in, raise it up, and push it a little bit toward the machine, just a hair. And then when you bring your knitting forward to get to it, it just slides right on. Okay? Now, just like all garter bars, you do need to have lots of weight on your machine when you're turning it. Now I'm going to unthread my machine first. I should have done that already, but I get so excited about this. Now it won't come undone. There we go. Okay, so I just push it all the way on. See how it likes to split? but it didn't lose one strand of it. Then I'm going to push it forward to open all the latches, and I'm going to turn my work. And this is strong enough to support all that weight. Then what you do is you bring it forward like this and up, because I'm turning it. I'm bringing it up and I'm pushing it through the bottoms of those slots and tilting it a little bit. And you heard it go. Did you hear that? Now, the important thing is, just like any time you're doing garter bar work, once you've turned it, you're going to look down the channels, all those little slots, and make sure nothing is hung up. I don't see anything hung up, which means my garter bar should come right out. And it did. I just turned it. Then I can push back on it. But, once again, this is my helper. This is my needle stopper. My yarn is now on this side of the work, so I'm going to put my carriage in hold and just come across. Free pass. That's called a free pass. Now I thread it up again and I can continue knitting. And let's do it again. This time without the stopper, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. First off, I'm going to bring all my knitting forward. Now there is no stopper. Watch what happens when I just go to push this back. I'm doing it very slowly, but do you see how the needles are all getting all cockeyed over there? That will slow you down in your process. All my latches are open, I can see that. I'm going to put my tool back on, and you saw how easy it is to do that. I'm going to do the same action where I bring it forward. Okay? And, do you see? Normally, you have to tip it up farther so that it's easy to take off. And then you tip it down so the work does not slide back when you readjust your hand. You can tip it down, but what I found is it's not going to slide back on anyway because of the texture of the slots on the garter bar. So now I'm going to turn it, and you can see how quickly this is. But when you go to do the garter bar, this is the part. Do you see how the LK wiggles the needles? I put a little pressure on it. I can't even get it to line up without it causing me some issues. If you don't have a stopper plate, you don't have this thingy, a workaround is cut a piece of cardboard 2.5 inches wide and just slip it in here. The problem with this solution is if you have a longer piece of cardboard, you have to then pull out extra needles because you can't get around it, then you can lose track of where you are. Or cut individual pieces for the various lengths that you need. But even so, this does not prevent the needles from going up. Unlike the stopper plate stops it in all directions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit different approach. I'm going to come directly in right where the needles are coming. Now I have to come and look. There we go. I got some of them. See, I have to come up. It's a little trickier to do it without the stopper. But you can, and I've been successful with it. I'm bringing it forward. And let's see if I can get it. I didn't get all of them yet, but I'll get them. I still have a couple over here that escape me. See what I mean by it's a workaround. Doesn't solve the problem all the time. I'm missing stitches right here, but I can come back and get them. There we go. Okay, I think I got them. Oh, this one's split, so I have to come back and fix that one. Alright. The true test is when you can pull your garter bar out, did you get it? And I did. But, as I said, this is just a workaround. As you can see, it was much more stable when I used the stopper plate. So I have asked to see if they can make those also, because that would be very handy. Now I can use my garter bar to push the stitches back. But once again, if I didn't have this, they would all get kind of uneven. Okay, so I need to take a free pass in this direction because my yarn is now on this side. So I put it in hold, move it across, and continue knitting. So the good news is we have garter bars for the LK. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Please take a moment to subscribe and ring the bell to receive notifications of upcoming videos and events. In the meantime, reach me in the comments. Happy machine knitting!